everybody, and welcome back to another daily devotion. I'm Pastor Roy, and this devotion is being recorded for broadcast on Thursday, August 25th of 2022. We have been working our way through Matthew's Gospel, which you know if you've been following along with us. We are in the 26th chapter, and today we're going to look at verses 47 to 56. This is the betrayal and the arrest of Jesus. This is where Judas betrays with a kiss Jesus in the garden. And of course, this is where we get that old saying, betrayed with a kiss. And it's also where we get the meaning behind what they call the Judas Goat. If you're an agricultural person and you're familiar with slaughters, it's the Judas Goat is the one that leads the lamb to the slaughter. And of course, that comes from this story. It's where we get that idea of the evil one, the Judas Goat, leading the lamb, the innocent one, Jesus, to the slaughter. So, with that, let's take a look at the scriptures, shall we? Chapter 26, verses 47 to 56. While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I will kiss is the man. Arrest him." At once he came up to Jesus and said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus said to him, "Friend, do what you are here to do." Then they came and laid hands on Jesus and arrested him. Suddenly one of those with Jesus put his hand on his sword, drew it, and struck the slave of the high priest, cutting off his ear. Then Jesus said to him, "Put your sword back into its place, for all who take the sword will die by the sword. Do you think that I cannot appeal to my Father, and he will at once send me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled, which say it must happen in this way?" At that hour Jesus said to the crowds, "Have you come out with swords and clubs to arrest me as though I were a rebel? Day after day I sat in the temple teaching, and you did not arrest me. But all this has taken place so that the scriptures of the prophets may be fulfilled." Then all the disciples deserted him and fled. Okay, now of course Judas has arranged this because in the dark there wouldn't be much for lighting over there, maybe some torchlight that they brought with them. In the dark there would be difficult to tell Jesus from any of the other of the disciples. That wouldn't be a particularly easy thing to do, especially for those that were not familiar with him. But the other side of that coin is Jesus has been out and about. He's not been in hiding. So perhaps they would have known him. But nonetheless, here Judas has arranged this one to point out to them who it is. He is going to kiss his master, and that is the man to be arrested. That would be Jesus. So we have here, though, and it doesn't identify who it is that draws the sword and strikes his blow to cut off the ear of the slave of the high priest. But in John's gospel, it tells us it's Peter. And of course, we can contrast, why may have Judas been doing this? I think I mentioned previously a couple of days ago that Judas may have been motivated by the fact that Jesus wasn't working fast enough, that he wasn't getting to the punch. Judas is wanting action. There is that thought that Judas may have been a member of the Zealot tribe. I do personally think that there is some credence to that. There's some likelihood of it. Let's put it that way. And if that's the case, then he's ready for a revolt. He's ready for a full-on fight with the Romans. He's not wanting all of this way that Jesus is doing things. And perhaps he's getting frustrated with that, and he wants the fight to be on. And though here we see the same action from the disciple that draws his sword, be it Peter, as John tells us, or one of the others. And it's his sword. It's not like they only have one sword with him. He has his own individual sword, whoever this is. He draws his sword and strikes the first blow. He's almost like, aha, the fight is on. I want the first blow in this heavenly conflict. The angels are going to come down, and he expected the 12 legions of angels that Jesus mentions when he says, "Stop this. This is not the time." That's coming in the future when Jesus comes again. But this time, this is not what's happened. This is not what's supposed to happen. We're to fulfill the scriptures. And of course, Matthew is all about, we haven't talked about that for a few days. Matthew is the most Jewish. Matthew is all about fulfilling prophecy. And so thus we are going to fulfill the prophecy. And of course, here as we don't have it, but in Luke's gospel we have Jesus healing, repairing this wound. It would have been a grievous wound. You slice off the ear, unless it was just a chunk of the ear. If you slice the entire ear off, that would be quite a grievous wound, and something that would could have gotten infected and been fatal easily, and especially in that timeline. In Luke's gospel, Jesus is righting that wrong, per se, if you want to call it that. And Jesus is taken away, will be taken away. But the thing that we have here that we want to look at is 2 days ago, day before last, the disciples had just said they would go with Jesus to their death. And here, the last verse, the last part of verse 56 here that we have is, then all the disciples deserted him and fled. They run away. When they see that this isn't going to be, the legion of angels aren't going to come, and that this is going to become, that a martyrdom is on the line here, so to say, they all run away. They all leave him. He is left to his own. When times get tough, we have to be careful that we don't want to run away. We want to endure. Go back to what we talked about yesterday. Jesus in the garden, crying, grieving, but yet courageously still going through with what he had to get through. We all will encounter difficulty in our lives. All of us will endure things that we don't want to go through, but for whatever reason or another, we have to go through those things, as painful as they may be. We will get through all of them if we hold on to the hand of Christ, no matter what the outcome, even if it's to go on to death. We will come out the other side victorious because of the victory of Christ on the cross. And so the point of the matter is that we don't want to be. Many times the disciples fulfill the role of the foil, what we do not want to be. They have failed, and here they fail. They run away. They leave Jesus behind. Let's not be that one. Let's not be that disciple. Let's go with him. Let's hold his hand all the way to the cross, as the disciples promised to do, but they don't. And it's no small thing to do. It's easy to be afraid, just as Jesus was afraid yesterday in that scripture we talked about in the garden, as he's praying in the garden in Gethsemane for the courage to endure. All right, that's what I think I've got for you today. Tomorrow we will finish up the week, and I don't think we quite finished the chapter tomorrow. I'm going to peek ahead. No, we've got Monday yet in this chapter. So with that, have a blessed day, and please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. Oh, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Make a kind comment if you would. All right, God bless you. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.